The Plucky Squire! From a Plucky streamer. We're gonna make sure the graphics are oh, great. Great. So I've been looking forward to this for a while, and it just has a really nice little style, and even a couple gameplay twists that seemed interesting. So, let's check it out. I'm feeling plucky and want a challenge. It's funny, because I was downloading this game. I was like, oh, this is going to be like a 3 gig game. 20 gigs. And now I know why.
Once upon a time, there was a plucky squire named Jot.
Jot, please, Bin Jot.
Jot lived in the land of Mojo, a land of creativity. Mojo was ruled by the gentle queen Chroma.
Colors are fun.
He defended the land from the nefarious sorcerer, Humgrump.
Well, that's not a color. That's just a name.
Which everyone very much appreciated. Good lad! Well done! Cracking. Jot was also a writer, and would transcribe his many adventures in book form. These tales were avidly read.
Is that
by
Carl
all
Pilkington?
People of
On the
land,
right?
who found them quite gripping.
We dropping
Jot
frames?
awoke one fine morning and pluckily leapt from his bed. From afar, he could hear some rather exciting music. He got dressed and went to investigate. Chapter 1. Some serious beeswax.
Ah! Oh, sorry if the frames drop, chat. If I have to restart, I will, but... You know what this reminds me of? What was that Everybody Wants to Save the World game or something? Nobody Saves the World. Not Tears for Fears, no. They just put out a new song, by the way. It's pretty good. Nobody... It's Nobody Saves the World. More frames dropping. Alright. Just gonna restart the stream. Sorry. Am I back, chat? I have no idea if that's gonna fix them, but I did a speed test and my upload speeds are normal. So hopefully that fixes the problem. And if not, then, we're screwed. Because there's nothing else I can do.
This was a house of the good wizard Moonbeard, Jot's close friend and mentor. Ah, Jot, my lad, he exclaimed. I'm on a roll here, traveling
DJ Wizard,
to
huh?
musical realms. Since you're here, lad, I have a small favor to ask. Wax. I need more wax, lad. To press more records, you know.
Oh, wax. Of course.
Would you go to Honey Peak and get some wax from Benny B? Pip here will accompany you.
This is gonna be one day people, like, are gonna just, like, play this game in front of their children. Mini quest. Take care of the goblins, I'll haul the wax back here. No one's gonna read books anymore. They're just gonna play this game. There's probably a lot of people doing that right now. Maybe that day is today. Maybe today is the one day, and there is a one guy. This is nice, though. You know, I knew that this was going to be something I would enjoy after seeing the trailers, and I'm already enjoying. And it gets wacky, too, chat. Soon enough, there will be some wacky. Goblins ambled ahead. That's not the way to Honey Peak. Gobloin. It looks like the fence is smiling. The gobloin word, I invented that earlier today. So I want to let you know my mind is always going. You know, I see a lot of people working hard throughout the day on their craft. And my mind is working hard.
Honey Peak.
I'm thinking stuff like gobloins. You know what? This actually, someone mentioned, thank goodness you're here. And yeah, a little bit, right? I mean... The style is in 10 Bob. It's in the region of a similar style.
Now this looked really quite precarious.
Peens! So the game went from Zelda 1 to Zelda 2. I'm craving the Zelda 2 rando run this year, chat. The lead artist is also British. Also did the designs for Pokemon and Sword and Shields. That's neat. Is that real? James Turner. That's so awesome. That's Mingen. I mean, in the good way. And wait. That's fucking Mingen. It's the top of Honey Peak. The view is incredible. No, wait. I mean it in a good way. That right there is a massive owl. That's Tome Tower, that is. He designed the ice cream Pokemon that everyone hates. Why does everyone hate the ice cream Pokemon? That's my favorite one. Because it's so memorable. I couldn't remember half the other Pokemon. 90% of the other ones. I remember the ice cream. Be on your toes, Jot. A hungry honey badger can be really cranky.
The honey badger seemed rather annoyed.
It'd be cool if you could just play Punch-Out now.
Jot prepared for a dust-up.
When did he get swole? Holy shit. Oh, wow. It is Punch-Out. What the fuck, dude? I called it! What do you mean? How did... Chat, I did not know. I didn't know. The game read my mind. That's powerful. Wow. I tried to press start to use a super punch, like in Punch-Out. That did not work. That is hilarious. Not that I called it, necessarily, but just that it just felt like it was going in that direction, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe it was the art, but the fact that it is referencing Punch-Out is just wonderful to me. They showed this during some Nintendo Direct, and your brain remembers? You think so? Because I'm going to tell you, I have such a dog shit memory. There's no way I would remember that. But maybe. Maybe it's in my brain.
The beast was bested.
Listen, Chad, I'm not going to brag about it. I'm not going to gloat.
Triumphant.
I am, like, obviously, psychic, but otherwise I'm not going to gloat or anything. Thank you, Jot. You did me a solid. That honey badger was really messing with my beeswax. Anyhow, gang, what brings you here? We need some of that wax for a record, basically. Compliments to the Wiz. Huh? What's going on? What's all this ominous darkness? The inciting incident. That seems bad. Magic's so powerful, it actually affected the real world. Briefly.
Down they fell. Oof.
The book has haptic feedback.
It was time to confer with Moonbeard.
Yes, it's Humgrump, all right. Always up to treacherous trickery, that one. There's something rather odd about the magic he used. And this is not usually how the story goes, you know. That is to say, forget about that. Well, this is a job for the Plucky Squire, Jot. I'm selling some rubber nips. Humgrump is at Tome Tower. Head there to make sure that creepy little twerp doesn't cause any more bother.
Hello? Whomst?
It was Violet.
That's a color.
Violet was a trainee witch with a love of
See, I know my colors. Violet is like purple
and
almost.
Jot's childhood
see?
friend.
Very smart I am. Hey, Jot. We've got another hump grump situation. Moonbeard gave me the skinny. That's what they call it. It's just information. That Weasley Wizard is at Tome Tower. You kids head over there. And Jot, put a stop to Humgrump's malarkey. I'll look into that strange green magic. And have a donut. But that's by the by. Later. Goodbye and good luck. Although, you never really needed it, Jot. No lie, I'm pumped that I'm going to see the Plucky Squire in action. Kapow. Lead the way, Jot. It's okay, he's done this before. What type of color is Jot? Oh... I don't know. He's a writer, so his name is Jot. Exactly. You got a new piece of artwork. Concept area, mountains. Okay. There's a colored pencil brand called Jot. There you go, there's a piece of information. What the? The Swung Gate. There are too many charming games coming out. We need more Gollum-esque games. Oh, just disgusting and dirty and like grimy. Maybe Donald Farmer can release a video game. I want to, yeah, if the games I play don't have that noise or that voice in them, then I don't want to play them. Vinny, are you going to check out UFO 50? God, eventually I will. It's just too much. That just came out today, too. I will check it out, for sure. Greetings, brave warriors. My name is Martina. Nice to meet you. You adventurers cut down fearsome enemies and I slash prices. Let me show you what I have for sale. Haha. We knew we wanted to feature a boxing minigame. Took a while to land on exactly who your opponent would be. As it turns out, it wouldn't be a giant muscular duck.
Zip zoom. It's me, Scoot.
Keep saving the land from bad business. Will you check out Mario Eclipse? I know. I know. Will you, Vinny, check out everything. Let's just say this. Next time I'm jonesing to play Mario Sunshine, I will play Mario Eclipse. And maybe that'll be next year. Or, you know, maybe I'll have time later on this year. I'm not sure. We'll see. But it's... yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. Well, there it is, that mysterious ancient owl. All the knowledge of Mojo is supposed to be stored in there, you know? Whoa, not sure the ground should be doing this.
Oh, bother. Chapter 2. Tome Tower.
Did you read what that bird was called?
Our
No.
heroes hung on to
I
the
picked up a
cliff's
glitch
edge
thing?
by their fingernails.
Is that what you mean?
When suddenly
Glitch bird. Oh, yeah.
they were grabbed and hoisted up. By whom?
An elf called Viridian.
By Thrash.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Thrash was a mountain troll. And
A rare
Martin
form of
Violet's
troll.
childhood friend. The trio had not been together for quite a while, and so were very happy to be reunited.
You know, we were just a couple of plucky squires, really. Having a thrash. Oh boy, you really saved our skins. Are we happy to see you? Triple trouble together again. They're so wacky. Just stoked I could find you dudes. After all this craziness kicked off, I checked in with Moonbeard. He told me you were both heading to Tome Tower. I figured I'd help you on your way. The path is wrecked, huh? Well, there's more than one route to Tome Tower. Let's get down to the ground. Huh? It's really quite high, isn't it? Well, if anyone can lead the way down, it's Thrash. Let's do this. That's cool. Side-scrolling. Oh, look at that! That's really cool that the book is now sideways like that. Through limitation, creativity. That's why I'm going to learn how to stream without speaking. Now, some will say, Vinny, that's not even you streaming. Thank God. Wait, what? Nice climbing, dude. You both got down that cliffside with banging style. You had good rhythm going on there, dudes. You think? You know, I did feel rather graceful, sort of like a hopping mountain rabbit. Now we're down on the ground, best get on to Tome Tower. Lead the way, Plucky Squire. There's a lot of whimsical things happening in this game. Whoa! Those bouncing boulders, they're just vanishing into thin air. majorly weird. Yeah, it's all really cool so far. I'm just curious to see where they end up taking it, because this is just the very beginning still. Bullet looks angry. Good job, none of us is wearing red. Jot's wearing red. Is it red? I suppose it's kind of a red. More like a crimson than a scarlet. I don't think bulls are that picky. It's okay, I have a sword. If there's a Plucky Squire, is there also a Plucky Fender? I like guitar jokes. You know, they're underrated. Is the tone... Where is the tone? Is it in The Sopranos? I've been looking for tone. I ended up getting that chorus pedal, and it was 30 bucks. It's a Behringer chorus pedal. It is way cheaper than other pedals of a similar nature. It's plastic, so it's not like metal, but it sounds good. It sounds like a chorus pedal. I saw that the Jack White guitar is on sale for $3,500. Fuck no! Cheaper in cost or quality? Quality seems good, sounds good. $30 is a great deal for a guitar pedal. That does it. All it does is chorus, but it has a couple knoblets. Is that Moonbeard? He looks much more petite. It's not Moonbeard Thrash. That's Minibeard. He's like a tiny version. You'll find him at Moonbeard's house, usually helping him out. Today it looks like he's out and about. You'll need a key if you want to be journeying onward. Free advice from old Minibeard. Thanks, Minibeard. Minibeard is like the help. Help. I have an Amazon Basics guitar pedal that works surprisingly well. Honestly, a lot of the more cheap guitar pedals are completely acceptable. In some cases, more so. And then you buy like a $300 designer pedal, and it's like, is this worth it? I don't know. It depends on how specific, you know, like you want to get. Like I have that Generation Loss pedal I bought because I was in a show called Generation Loss. That stream, rather. It wasn't really a show, was it? It was a production of a show. A budget of like $1 million. So yeah, it was probably... But yeah, I used the pedal. I bought it because I thought it would be like cool. And... you know... it's just... it just makes things sound like shitty old tape. Definitely not worth it when you could download free VSTs that do the same thing. I'm not going to use it on stage. I mean, it's cool, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you really need that many options for how to make a sound lo-fi and fucked up. And not even like good lo-fi. Anyway. Yeah, I'm happy with a $30 pedal. Do you have a bike to put those pedals to good use? But shh. Expensive pedal that makes you sound worse. It's like the beach that makes you old, yes. Greetings, Travelers 3. My name is Topsy. Hey, Topsy. You're on a quest of some kind. You know, Topsy may be able to help you. There's something you could perhaps assist me with? Namely, my tummy. It is empty. I left my biscuits around here somewhere. cat shouldn't be parted from their biscuits. We'll find them for you. There's a word in that sentence just there. That might be the key to all these landscape-shifting antics. You might identify which word is causing all the mischief by giving it a good whack. Ah, yes. So if you're stuck on a puzzle, you can ask your little wizard fellow. Someone said this is the whimsiest game of all time. Yeah. That's very cool. Baba is ruin. That's a game I miss playing, and just hearing the music and everything. But I don't want to do the later levels. They're like so incredibly frustrating. Oh no. I get it now. Vinny, is your brain okay? No. This looks fun, but is it worth the price? I hear it's fairly short. I guess that's up to you. I've only played this for about 40 minutes. Not even. Not even 40 minutes, so I don't have an answer to your question. But value is obviously up to the player, because you know, some people might want a 100-hour-long game for 60 bucks only. I'm okay with a really solid, really good, even like 6 to 12-hour-long game, as long as it's like as good as Astrobot. It's free on PS Plus. How much is this game actually normally? My biscuits, I've dreamed of this moment. You have my sincerest thanks. The prospect of the snacks brings a smile to my face. 30 bucks? This land is full of puzzles and trickery. Always remember, things are sometimes not what they seem. When you get stuck, try to see things from a different angle. Good luck, biscuit saviors. Okay, thank you, Giant Cat. Someone said life is too short to put value... What is it? Prospect or proposition on everything? Value propositions on everything. I agree with that, but also you want to make sure that you're into a game like this before you drop the 30 bucks on it. Because if it's only like 6 hours, you know, that's why it's good to watch a stream like mine. You should always watch my streams. But you should definitely, you know, want to play this genre of game before dropping that money. But I think $30 for 6 solid, really fun hours is totally worth it, in my opinion. But I also, you know, I play games for a living, so. We meet again. Care to take a look at my current selection? Spin attack. Jump attack. Sword damage upgrade. Someone said, especially, yes, especially when your ex takes your console and leaves you broke. Chat member, do you need to talk? Vinny, I'm an electrical engineer. I just wanted to say that the reason Behringer pedals are so inexpensive, they steal their designs from other, often much smaller companies, mass produce them in China. Just thought you should know. Thank you for that information. But here's the problem. I didn't, well, damn. I don't know how to respond to that, but thank you for the information. When you have a similar pedal that costs 120 bucks, that does the same thing, yeah. That's all audio equipment. The prices of these things get insane, and so people are gonna go for the cheaper option, whether or not it's ethical that they did that or whatever, but yeah. When Burger is that much money, when Burger is so expensive, one must cut corners elsewhere.
Our trio stopped in their tracks. There, on the horizon, loomed Toad Tower.
Got dark around here pretty fast. There's some magic afoot. Everything else feels kind of fizzy. Oh my god. Real life bug. Hello, mouse. Also, one more thing too. Audio stuff gets so stupidly expensive. For a guy like Joe, whose studio I go to, Redvox Joe, some of the stuff that he ends up like doing with subscribing to like 10 different services for VSTs, you know, the amount of money it costs to keep up is not feasible for someone that isn't like professional level making that level of money sometimes. It's actually insane how much customers are getting ripped off, which is why the Adobe Photoshop situation is insane. Like, I bought FL Studio, and I bought plenty of VSTs, but then there's some that's like hundreds of dollars, and I'm just like, oh god. Zoc. Mr. Zoc. My audio correction software is $1,600 a year. Just prohibitively expensive. And that's why people find alternate products or alternate routes. Again, I understand the whole idea of, like, they're taking the design. I mean, a chat member could say that. I trust you, chat member, because you're a chat member. But also, a lot of these pedals end up doing the same thing. Like a chorus pedal, it's the same algorithm. It's basically the same thing across the board, unless you have a very, like, specialized version of it. But yeah, I was happy to spend those 30 bucks as opposed to the 300 for the Generation Loss pedal, which ended up not going to much use at all. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say really about that. I refuse to buy VSTs that aren't just a one-time purchase. Yeah, pretty much. I know how that goes. I don't do subscription VSTs personally. I mean, I'm not an audio engineer for a living, but for someone like Joe, or like people who own their own studio and make a living off of it, and aren't bringing in millions of dollars, it adds up. It gets really expensive over time. So some of these things you kind of need, but it's just too goddamn expensive. Hello, young adventurers. Are you on your way to Tome Tower? Are you Bookworm Adventures? Beware, a dark wizard occupies the tower. His magic is causing pandemonium. I mean, look at this lovely bridge. Unmitigatedly obliterated. Oh yeah, wrecked. Is there another way across these waters? Cave entrance. Promising. Promising. These bookish lands are usually so peaceful. All this mayhem is not conducive to reading. It is Bookworm. Oh, worm? Man, real gloomy. Dig the acoustics, though. Lead on, Jot, my dude. Your plucky glow will light the way. When games do silhouette, that's an instant +1. So remember, chat. Silhouette, always very important to have silhouette. Also, pet the dog. What was another? There was another one. For me, it's coil, but there's another one that I mentioned the other day, too. Fishing? No. Cozy, maybe? Cozy. Grey Leno? Yeah. Fishing minigame is probably the one I mentioned. Yeah, that's a very important thing. Dude, Against the Storm has fishing now. That's +1. Abiotic Factor has fishing now. +1. Secret Behind the Waterfall, that's a big one for me. I wouldn't give that a +1, but that, like a 0.1. Those add up, you know. Video poker. Chat, I will be honest with you. I was very sad because I was thinking about that Link to the Past thing I played yesterday, the Dungeons of the Infinite or whatever. And I was like, man, I should play that again. I was like, oh, right. Ow. Would you look at that? We crossed the river. On we go. I watched Pooh Bear play this morning and rage when he got to the final boss. You're making that person up. You're telling me that there's someone called Pooh Bear. Yes? Oh, alright. Cool. Well, I wish him luck with his future endeavors. Yeah, I felt the same way about that final boss. I didn't really, I didn't like it at all, in fact. I didn't get a chance to see it. I had full health, and it immediately was just too overwhelming, and I died, but... oh well. I like that the sword is also the tip of a pen, fountain pen. Whoa there, all these books really eerie. Pretty cool visual though. Game doesn't take itself too seriously, which is fun. What's the last game that did take itself too seriously to good effect? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I would assume the God of War games are very serious business, or do they have a sense of humor? I'm not sure. I Someone said Heavy Rain. A lot of people said Heavy Rain. The Gollum game. Final Fantasy 16. Oh, look at that. Glitch found, chat. Final Fantasy 16 was pretty dry. It had a couple really fun characters, but it wasn't nearly, like, funny enough for me. And then playing, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and having, like, genuinely funny moments that made me laugh out loud more than once per session. I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I want. But every game has to achieve a different tone, and if you're going for a serious game and you're cracking jokes or, like, breaking the fourth wall constantly, that's not good either. Rebirth also had serious moments mixed in. Well, it was a huge-ass game. With that game, you can afford to do, like, tonal shifts. I feel. "100% serious is bad. You need funny to make the serious moments matter more." I hear your opinion, chat member. I think you may have a point. Elden Ring is kind of serious. There's like a couple foolish things in Elden Ring, but what's cool about Elden Ring is there's a guy named Dung Eater that you see in the opening of the game. The loathsome Dung Eater. He's right there in the beginning! It depends on the game. Every game, there's no one solution for every single video game. What, chat? Vinny the Pages. What, like Slenderman? Oh. In my headcanon, Slenderman sounds like Cutman, or Cutsman, from the Captain N TV show, the robot master from Mega Man. Collect my 8 pages! Okay, that's a bit creepy. That wretched fool Jot will get what he deserves. The time is near. That dreaded Plucky Squire. Huh. Plucky. There's a secret back there. Whoa. So this is where it all kicks off. A historical location, and no mistake. Huh?
Evil.
Well, hello and goodbye, I guess. No idea who that was. So much oddness around these parts. Anyway, here we are, the Tome Tower. Looks like Hump Grump is still up there. It's time for the Plucky Squire to go take care of that creep. Well, we'll stay down here, dude. We don't want to cramp your style. This is one of those dramatic, heroic kind of moments, you know. During your big showdown, you don't want us two dorks mooching around in the background. Nope, we'll mooch down here instead, but we'll be cheering you on all the way. Mooching and cheering, Jot. That's more our style. Go get that chump. Oh, I can't go back. What did I miss anyway? You said I missed a secret?
Jot made his way up the
Art
steep
scroll? Oh,
steps.
fuck. Locked into the bad ending.
Ah, the plucky Squire. I've been waiting for you. So glad to see you made it to Tome Tower. You might be wondering what Humgrump is doing here. Well, I had a hunch, Grump, I might find something interesting in this tower. And something interesting I did indeed find. A book. It was hidden away at a very secret chamber because this is a very special book. The title of this very special book is, The Plucky Squire! Yes, that's right. This book is all about you, and me, and all who live in this dratted land. It is the story of our lives. It turns out, you see, that our land of Mojo is just a setting in a storybook. Hard to believe it. I assure you it's true. What I'm holding here is a copy of that storybook. A book within a book, if you will. I read the book. It is very interesting. You and that witch girl adventuring through the land, meeting up with a mountain troll, making your way here to meet me. In fact, I read ahead to this very chapter. I've seen what happens next. We fight here on the roof. Any guesses how that turns out?
And so, the Plucky Squire once again defeated the wretched wizard Humgrump.
You win, as you always do. You know, this book is one of a series, and in each of these books, you win every single stinking time! Because you are the Plucky Squire, the hero of this story, the boy who can do no wrong. Always victorious. Even the little stories you write, beloved by all. Infuriating, like a mosquito. In my cardigan. Yes, that is an adequate metaphor. Me, I'm the villain, Gungaga, the talentless wizard who can do no right, destined to be beaten forever. At least that's how it has been up until now, but maybe it doesn't need to be that way. Maybe even Humgrump could get a little glory for once if the Plucky Squire were to be plucked from the book, if he were to be ejected.
Amazing. That's really, really cool. There's a Plucky Squire lunchbox over there. It counts, chat. It does, yeah. Also, hang on a minute. Did you just shift reality? That's a bad idea. Is that a Lego? Is that a non-standard Lego? Can you start the silent streamer bit, please? Very antagonistic. I could have anyone play a video game for me and just tell people like, oh, I'm doing the silent streamer bit. This is an innovative new bit where I stream with no commentary. I could be on a beach somewhere in Alaska, mushing huskies with Miller. Oh, hello. Is there someone out there? Minimalism of the voice. That's right. Would you be so kind as to open the lid of this lunchbox? Grapes? Carrot?
Do you remember me, Jot? We met in your book. I'm not actually from there, you know. Us bookworms travel around a fair bit, from book to book.
It is Bookworm Adventure.
But you, Jot, are a character from a book, and you really shouldn't be here. It's Humgrump's magic that blasted you out of the page onto this desk, isn't it? We'll have to get you back into your book, Jot. It is of the utmost paramountcy. In other words, very important. You know, there are some intriguing items on this desk. Some of them might help you return.
Oh, sorry, got a little... I flanderized that voice very quickly.
Head around the corner to the left and we'll try to find one.
Hello there again. Do you see that magical swirly green thing? That's a meta magic portal. You can travel to different worlds. Most characters cannot. But Jot, you've already made that leap once. Maybe you can do it again. I took the grape with me! Some of that meta magic must have rubbed off on you, Jot. Like me, it seems like you have the power to leap between worlds. This here is a sketch that was drawn by the occupant of this room. And the owner of your storybook, Jot, a young boy named Sam. He's a very creative child. You'll find his sketches all over this desk. Since you can jump into them, maybe you can use them to get around. I'm gonna assume this rabbit wants a carrot. A Jot between worlds. Exceptional. You really can bring items between realms. This may be handy. Low energy, too hungry to move. Too hungry to converse. Please get me a snack. Bunford is a great name. Delicious carrot boost. Energy levels restored. Oh, am I in your way? Sorry about that. Here, let me scooch. Wow. That's really cool. It's kind of easy to play this and smile while doing so. That's my review of the game so far. So I have to get up there, move that block down, and then jump in. Vinny, what do you think of this versus Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree? Direct comparison is one game is pluckier. Oh, okay. So you can, okay, you can auto-climb some ledges. Thank you. Vinny, stop enjoying things and play games that make you angry. It makes for better content to eat food to. Yeah. My career is cooked because I don't want to get angry at things every day. Someone said I'm just so sick of the word content. Yeah. Yeah. Good going, young Squire. My music is content. Consume the content. Pay for the content. Dispose of the content. Good going, young Squire. I believe that the item that can help you get back to your world is further ahead, but listen, on your way you may run into creepy, crawly Cleopatra. Beetles. Sam likes to keep them as pets, you see. Beware, Jot. Don't get eaten. It simply wouldn't do. Get angry that this game is so good. Oh, I can do that too. It reminds us of what we've lost. And what did we lose? Whimsy. I don't know. Maybe we could do that. There's an angle. Stealth section. Is that Nirvana? Is that Nirvana? Nirvana? I think you could probably just throw that in your game without consequence. There's also an Aphex Twin reference. Well, maybe Sam is a fan of a number of bands. Including Beatles. Oh! God, that is... shitty. Oh, it fucking impaled. I gotta really stop having that happen to this poor lad. That looks like Roger Klotz from the hit television program Doug. Damn. Oh God, jeez.
Jot, you made it. My fears has been allayed. It seems that nothing can hinder the Plucky Squire. On that very note, while you're here, there is something that you really must observe.
These sketches of you. Quite remarkable likeness, I must attest. The person who drew this is called Sam.
He is the boy who lives in this room and is the owner of your storybook. As you might be able to tell, he is very fond of you and your adventures. I'm glad that you got to see this, Jot, to see how much you mean to him. But there is no time to dwell on that. Your quest to re-enter the book is near its pinnacle. The item you need is just beyond this sketchbook. Press on.
Mulch Enjoyer in chat. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever purchased mulch? I don't know if you're like a homeowner that has needed mulch, but like, have you ever actually... I'm not even saying this to be funny, I'm just curious. Have you ever actually bought mulch? Or do you sell it? I can't even find their chat message. The chat scrolled up too quickly. No, I like to look at it, though. So that counts. Aw, lame. No! Oh. Well, the checkpoints are generous. Ah! That actually scared the shit out of me. These are his pets? Nice pets. Scarier than Silent Hill 4. Yep. Glove? You got the turn gauntlets. Now he has the power to manipulate his storybook.
You got the gauntlets. Exceptional procurement. Head back to your book post-haste. I think you'll find that the gauntlets will help you return home. One last thing before you leave the stable, Jot. It's very important. Beware of Humgrump. He wishes to take over your book. You have to stop that from happening. Not just for the sake of the citizens of your book, but for all the children who will read and be inspired by your book. Sam is one of those children, Jot. You know, us bookworms, we're able to glimpse the past, present, and even the future. I've seen that Sam will one day grow up to be a writer and illustrator himself. He will create a series of very popular children's books with very lucrative merchandise tie-ins and brand integrations. Sam's books will go on to inspire many other children. That is, if he actually ever writes them. If Humgrump takes control of your book, the story will get worse. I'm doing a different voice for every worm. By accident. Books with bad stories get put away on the shelf. No one reads them anymore. Those books lose all their life and cease being an inspiration to anyone. Your book will no longer inspire Sam, and then who knows what path he will take. Do not let that happen, Jot! Return now and stop Humpgrump. What if Humpgrump is actually a genius writer? Yeah, good point. What if about that? Magic. That's it? The first page? Guess we're going back to page 1. Jot, my lad, welcome back to Mojo. We have much to discuss.
Chapter 3. Moonbeard.
This really is the wizard I voiced, holy shit.
I seem to feature rather prominently in this chapter. Better put on my best foot forward, then. Greetings, lad.
Hey, Jot, glad you're back here in one piece.
I suppose you must have a great number of questions, lad. The answer to the first question is, yes, I am aware of how cool these sunglasses look. The answer to the second question is yes, our entire world is indeed a land in a storybook. Bananas, huh? I've kept this knowledge a closely guarded secret for many a year. Somehow that greasy nincompoop Punk Crump found out. Very regrettable. Now he knows the truth. He knows what mischief he's planning. I have a hunch that big trouble is on the way. But that just means, young Squire, that we must be double the trouble. Follow me. First order of business, getting in and out of the book. See that green sparkly stuff over there? Meta magic, that is. It lets you break the fourth wall, which is another way of saying jump out of the book. Walk into the portal and hold Y. What's a Y button? Not entirely sure, but you should press and hold it. Testing. Jot, I'm talking to you via Rune Tooth headset. You know, I'm suddenly feeling rather parched. Wizards are like plants. We must keep hydrated. Use your page-turning abilities to get me something to drink. Approach the edge of the book and see what you can do. You see that glow around the edges of the paper? That's the book telling you there's something useful on its pages. Try jumping in and see.
Is this like a Whataburger cola?
My fizzy pop. That will do nicely. Head back here and drop off that pop.
Second lost glitch bird. Drink that shit.
Ah, that's the ticket. Thanks, lad. Those turn gauntlets can be very handy, don't you think? I was the one that put them on the desk. I've stored a number of useful items out there, but there's one small problem. I'm not sure of their precise location. Things get moved around. Sam is full of energy, you know. It's chaos out there. When you need one of those items on the desk, you'll just have to search for it yourself. Last point of order. Minibeard. Yo, I hear you've already met. Minibeard is a tiny simulacrum of me. I created him to help out around the house. He's quite helpful and rather good at puzzles, you know. If you're having trouble with a puzzle and you see him around, why not ask his advice? There's a lot of wisdom stored in that tiny bearded head. Jot, our land has never been troubled by something quite like Humgrump's meta-magic before. There may be great upheavals and big battles ahead, but I have faith you'll rise to whatever challenges are thrown you our way. You are the plucky Squire, after all. Believe in you always have, lad.
Now I expect that your friends are waiting for you. If you leave the book and turn the next page, I think you'll find them. We've lost Jot. I can't believe it. We shouldn't have just let him come up here by himself. We should have had his back. What could we have done? We're not warriors like him. Never have been, never will be. Who will protect Mojo now that he's... Jot. Dude. You're alright. Wait, you're not a ghost, are you? Of course he isn't, Thrash. Look at his face. That's his normal squidgy face. So happy to see it. Jot, where were you?
Hello, gang!
Moonbeater, is that you?
Indeed. I'm talking to you via a device known as a rune-tooth headset. This is a strange magical form of communication known as a conference call. All very exciting. Now listen up, this business with Humgrump is rather worrying. We must consult with Green Cromer at Archery City. You three should head there now. I've got some wizard business to attend to in Donut Street. I'll join you kids later. Violet Thrash, I'll fill you in on the situation while you travel. Moonbeard out.
Oh, you heard him. A trip to Ardia City, my hometown. Oh, John, I'm so glad you're okay. Let's scoot. Are you okay? I'm alright. Yeah, it's just singing very loudly today.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, that was intentional, because that's a wizard voice.
And so our heroes set off to Artia City to visit the good Queen Cromer. Chapter 4. A Treacherous Trail.
Snail trail.
On the way to Artia, our heroes took a shortcut through the aquatic land known as
Partial lunar eclipse at its peak.
Swamps.
Really? Is that happening? In the real life right now? Chad, I'll be right back. Hang on. Chat, I'm gonna be real. Chat, I'm gonna be real with you. I saw it. It looked fucking cool. It was a partial lunar eclipse. I'm not gonna take a picture of it because the phone, what it does is it's actually japes. Have you heard about that? How phones that take pictures of the moon, they just like get pictures from the internet and like combine them. And it's not actually even your fucking picture. But yeah, right now there is a lunar eclipse. It's not, like, extensively covered, but it's, you know, I saw it. I synced it. It was cool.
Well, this is unknown territory, kiddos. Jot, your story has never taken you to this area. You're off script now, so no happy endings guaranteed. You could get splatted, eaten by a huge frog, who knows? Although these swamps are usually rather cultured as far as I hear or gather, the residents here are quite keen on poetry. If you've ever wanted to hear a snail recite a verse, here's your chance. Nevertheless, you... bad reception.
Moonbeard, looks like the rune tooth doesn't work so well in these swamps. Guess we'll get connected again once we're on the other side. Pectite. There are some clouds. The sky's not, like, perfect here in New York right now, but it's... And you can still see the moon clearly enough that I could tell it was a lunar eclipse. It was cool, but I mean, I'm not gonna just stare at it. If I wasn't live, perhaps I would stare at it. Look at the size of that big, gnarly, thing.
Green lightning struck with furious sound. This insect's nest broke through the ground, and thence flew the bugs. Really not a fan of these punky bugs. Snails are not bugs, by the way. We are mollusks. Big difference.
Vinny, I got pepper sprayed by my Goodbye Rotten box recently like you did. Was it the Tuckery at Chicken Bowls? Yeah, I think it was. you too? Hello, little goblin. I have a task for you, my rotund purple friend, concerning that wretched Squire. I booted him out of the box, you know. But he's a persistent little creep. He may still be out there with an eye on causing Humgrump trouble. You see, Humgrump will bring the trouble to him. Take a shot of my metamagic and leap through this pretty portal. Set yourself free of these pages. Go bully that wretched pest. Box? Oh, maybe the word box was on the mind from that chat member, but book, yes. For those that don't know what that chat member was talking about, it was just a lot of chili powder. And when I cooked my version of the meal, I was getting like fucking pepper sprayed by the amount of chili powder it wanted me to use. I'm like coughing and heaving, and like my eyes are watering while I'm cooking this meal. And then I eat it, and my stomach was like, "Oh no, you don't. No, 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 no. You didn't want that. You really didn't want that." It wanted me to use a lot of chili powder. What's your spice tolerance? The hot sauce that I sell is like my limit, the red one. And even then, I can't have too much of it because my stomach does not like that. So this must be one of those portals Moonbeard was talking about. And you, Jot, can just jump right out of our world through this thing? Onto a desk in someone's room? Crazy stuff, man. On that desk is a storybook in which we're all living. I'm a character in a story? My whole life is just a plot line? Sorry, it's just a bit much to take on board, although it figures that I'm just some supporting character in someone's story. I just wish I'd been written a little more cool. I wonder if he can still see us. I guess to him we look like characters in a book, maybe she said. It's funny how the gameplay is just translated into a 3D space. Drawings on a page, thank you. For some reason, I now remember a throwaway joke you made years ago where you said Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was the protagonist of our reality. Yeah, his sweaty nipples that he shows in his videos. That's him, he's the protagonist. He was! He's no longer. Now it is someone named, probably, like, Nathan. In, like, a flyover state. Who doesn't even know they're the protagonist, but yeah, I'm pretty sure The Rock no longer is protagonist. Nathan Fielder? I mean, it could be. Chappelle Rowan, Cody Rhodes. These are all the protagonists. I'm thinking it's just some random, like, person in the middle of nowhere who just, like, eats paste. It's just like they just eat paste every day. Like, they don't even know. They don't do anything of value, necessarily. I mean, to them, their life is value. But, like, to us, like... But they're the, here, let me use a Marvel term. I'm sorry, chat. But this Nathan character, or whoever it may be, is the anchor being of this world. The wretched paste eater. Could be. I mean, you never know. The problem is The Rock was doing just fine, and then he just, like, did one too many shitty movies. And now people are turning on him for, like, his shameless promotion of his own sweaty nipples. He's stuck in the jungle. He doesn't know how to get out of a jungle. He's fake as fuck these days, says a chat member. I would argue that The Rock has probably always been some level of fake. That's part of what made him so famous, is the brand. Dwayne Erosion Johnson, says a chat member. But not as fuck. Okay, I'll accept that answer. I don't know as much about The Rock as some other people do. Are you calling wrestling fake? You know, chat, it is fake. But you know it's not fake? When people fucking break their necks. So, is wrestling fake? Has no real answer. There is no answer to that question. Plot lines are fake, but the damage sure isn't. There you go. You can't just jump into wrestling like, oh, wrestling is fake. Okay, well, make it look good. And then don't injure yourself. Shit's fucking actually... And I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, but it's just, there's a lot of skill behind it, and a lot of physicality. And if you're listen, if you're M. Dickey, then the entire world is wrestling. Maybe M. Dickey is the main character. Go to school, wrestling. Go to prison, wrestling. Go to wrestling, wrestling. Go about your day, wrestling. Supermarket, wrestling. Humongous bug looks like it's full of water. If it wasn't so huge, we could get around it and be on our way. People are shitting on The Rock because he has a huge ego and refuses to play the bad guy and lose in movies. Yeah, I watched a video about that recently, I think. And in any case, The Rock, as an actor, I don't think he wants to necessarily grow as an actor. I think he just wants to grow as a brand. Whereas Dave Bautista is very clearly, like, actually trying to act. Hang on, chat. Chat, you didn't hear that, did you? Or you did? Shit. Okay, I have to mute. I'm good. We're good. Silent mode activated. No, 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 no. I was done with my conversation. I just need to, again, once I get that, once I get that cable, we'll see. Because it's gonna be either the cable or the mixer. How much hype do you have for Echoes of Wisdom? Medium. I think it's gonna be very good, but I'm keeping my expectations kind of, minimal about it. I've been told that I can do this. Huh. This is now Scribblenauts. A little bit. It just kind of makes me miss Scribblenauts. God, that game got fucking unhinged at times. What if you drain the huge frog? What? What are you talking about? You can't do that. A drained bug. Okay, I want to see actually what... Maybe that'll work. Aww. These ruins were just drained of bugs. Huge of bugs. Didn't do anything. Still need to get up there. Drain moat again? Okay. The moat was completely huge of water. Oh. Jot peered into the open grate. Huge moat situation. Yeah, I know, dude. You wouldn't believe how insane the huge moat situation was. Goodbye, tiny insect dude. Awesome job, Jot. You really got a grasp on the power of words. It's all just amazing, really. Huge to tiny, full to empty. By changing the words, you can change, well, everything. Guess the story in this book really isn't fixed, huh? I guess not. Maybe the story's characters are not so fixed either, you know? Frog is huge. For no reason. Current selection. Concept area haunted. If you tried it before changing the bug to tiny, it gets eaten. Oh man. Will you check out the Dead Rising remake tomorrow? No, probably not. Still playing a lot of other stuff, sorry to say. Someone said I just finished watching There Will Be Blood. What the fuck? It's a great movie, huh? How about that ending? What the fuck is the appropriate reaction? Yeah, no, we don't need to do spoilers. We don't need to do spoilers. It's just a great movie. But there was blood. You know what? That is a spoiler. I'm sorry, but there was indeed blood. Why even watch it now? I know, right? I thought the word, like, exploded, but no, it's still good. Will you be playing Home Safety Hotline DLC on Friday when it releases? Not Friday. Spooptober, yes, I have it. I have the DLC. So, sometime in October I will. Look over there. A poor flippery floundering fish.
Jot cleared his mind.
What?
Now he was ready to grab the fish.
This is just Astrobot. That is, that guy's Melpert from,
Fish
thank you, thank goodness you're here.
The plucky squire gently released the fish into the water. And there it regained its composure.
Whew, thank you so much, noble traveler. My name is Flocio. You know what? I thought that said Flotato, and I'm gonna just call him Flotato. And I am a fish. Green lightning zapped me right out of these waters. Consumed by fear, I flipped and flopped, so your hand was... Till by your hand my fugue was stopped. I am eternally in your debt, but you must forgive me. I must go, for my beloved swims this ready fiend. Sorry, this reedy fen. I reverse that. And I cannot rest till we meet again. Safe travels, my noble saviors. What an extremely well-spoken fish. I do hope he finds his love.
Our heroes ventured on. The sounds of the daytime chorus began to fade, and the light began to dwindle.
There's a clue. Swamps are kind of moody at night. Check out those singing frogs. Sweet harmonies. This bridge was broken. I just think that's neat. You can just go to a story page and grab a word. My word.
I just think they're neat.
You ever think about how interesting it is that his name is Homer and the son's name is Bart? Like, these are actually pretty non-standard names. You just get used to it because, like, I grew up in a world where The Simpsons kind of always existed. That's not true. There are a couple of years where I was alive on this planet where The Simpsons did not exist. Marge? Well, Marge is a little more common. Marge is a little more common, especially, you know, because it's short for Marjorie. Solid. Millhouse, that's a great name. Solid Swamp. Isn't that his last name? What's his first name? What's Millhouse's first name? Someone just said Midhouse. Van Houten? His last name is Van Houten, you fake fan. What about, I'm learning, but What was the father's name again? Father House? Dad House? It was Kirk, right? Kirk Millhouse? Kirk Van Houten. Okay, see, I'm learning. You can borrow a feeling, yeah. His father's name was Glup Shitto. Yeah. Why did Millhouse's parents look so alike? I wouldn't ask that question if I were you. They're from Shelbyville. Oh, I watched that episode, the Shelbyville one. Some early concepting of game environments, appealing to the 80s, 90s kid who grew up with slime toys and TV shows. There's always a slime dungeon. Sometimes it's just a sewer, but that's close. Vinny, what time do you go to bed and why? After I stream? Why? Oh, you want me to elaborate?
No.
Okay, so why? I like ending my evenings with a stream. I feel like it just kind of caps the day off nicely. And it also feels like a late-night television program. That's pretty much it. But I'm in bed like 1:32, 2 in the morning these days, whereas when I was streaming a whole lot more back in the before times, that was like a 5:30, 6 in the morning kind of streaming, which is just insane. Bro, you stay up until 2 most streams. Not most. 1:30, 1:45, sure, but like then I'm in bed, I just conk right out. So yeah, these days the latest I go to bed is around like 2:15. Someone said I miss the yam years. I don't. There are people that would prefer me, like, I get it, because, you know, I'm just a voice on the internet. But they would prefer me to be more accommodating to their schedule and their personality. But that's like, you know, you can't change the flow of a river, can you? Yes, you can. Alright, well, go fuck yourself then. How does that sound? See, now that is how you solve a problem. Someone offers a varying viewpoint. Well, just tell them to go fuck themselves, and you win. Also, chat member, I've seen you here a lot. You're fine. You don't have to go fuck yourself unless you want to. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you. I'd prefer if you didn't do it while I was streaming. Fucking weird. But, how do you change the flow of a river? Do you have to, like, dig and, like, use machinery? Because, I mean, that seems like a lot of effort. You build a dam. Beavers do it. Man, fucking beavers. It always comes back to beavers, doesn't it? Vinny, been watching for 12 plus years now. I'm really happy with the way you're streaming now. Feels healthy and fun. Thank you. Yeah, I've seen you a million times in chat. And, you were born 85, so we probably are the same age. Unless you're just including random numbers in your username for no reason. Thank you, paid chat member. You don't have to fuck yourself. But no, in all seriousness though, jokes aside, I like staying up late, but in my more recent years, I really like waking up at a reasonably early time. Like, I don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. I don't want to. But waking up, like, 9 just feels good, and you get more daylight, and there's more stuff in the morning that's open. I was happy to be a pretty intense night owl for, like, well over a decade. More than that, yeah. Like, yeah, over a decade. But, I think I'm pretty happy with where I'm at now. I'm not really, an early worm. You know, I'm not up with thy worm early. And I'm not really a full night owl, though some would say 2 a.m. is late. And it is. But just kind of somewhere in the region of like, I stay up a little late. That's where I would say. I guess if you're working at like a 9 to 5, then I'm a night owl. Adventurers, maybe you can help us. Our house is full of flying bugs. Please kick out those insectoid thugs. You bet we will, snail dude. Squire, your sword there looks mighty sharp. Mightily didily, but if you want to wallop those buzzing pests, a long-range weapon will serve thee best. Maybe is there something around here? There's something lodged under the water. Maybe I could dislodge it with a little bit of magic. Can never quite get this thing to work, but well, I suppose there's a first time for everything. Guys, maybe best if you just stood back. Here goes nothing. Holy guacamole, it actually worked. I mean, ta-da, cool, huh? It's a big log. Not really a long-range weapon, unless you threw it. A portal. I get the feeling there won't be a weapon just lying around in the swamp. Have you ever seen a snail rocking a crossbow? I haven't, but maybe you could find something out there in the other realm? Wow. Vinny actually reads every chat message. Here, I'll prove it. Chat, this is very cool. Vinny, this baby game is so annoying, I'm ripping my pubes out. Oh, okay. You're a chat member. I just checked their messages. They're trying to get in the chat. Vinny reads chat unhinged messages too. Or 3, as it may be. I see what's going on. Well, they succeeded. No, they didn't. Johnny cut.
Word up, it's me, Minibeard.
Or to give you my full name, I'm talking... My talking Minibeard. I'm a toy based on the character Minibeard from the book The Plucky Squire. It's all a bit meta, but my advice is very practical. If you're looking for a long-range weapon, there's an elven warrior around here who owns one. She lives in a game card. Head upwards to find her. She might try and shoot you with arrows, but don't take it personally. Vinny, are you gonna buy the Final Fantasy Magic Gathering set? I didn't know that was a thing, but didn't Final Fantasy have their own TCG that no longer people buy? I mean, I would know. I've opened many packs of those cards. Alas, it seems that danger is on the horizon. I mean, I'll check it out. What are they doing? Are they doing... Here's a question. Are they going to be more Magic or more Final Fantasy, or just... Is there going to be no cohesion to Final Fantasy whatsoever? It's all Final Fantasy. No, but I mean, like, does Cloud look like Cloud, is my question. Or does he look like a Magic the Gathering character? He looks like anime. I see. Okay, I understand now. Thank you. I just needed to answer. That is the question I needed answering. Thank you. How do? If you need to head upwards, you'll want to find a block to climb onto. Usually when they do, they just straight up use the licensed characters. I see. I'd be interested. I mean, it's not like I play the game, but I've collected the Magic the Gathering cards just for fun. And, I do have a bunch of cards for Card Sauce. Like, if you're wondering... people have made some custom stuff. I've got some weird packs. I've got some other little things I could open for Card Sauce, but honestly, after the last 2, the main problem is I just don't think I can keep upping the stakes of Card Sauce. Because, it's getting harder to find unique packs of cards. I don't think. There's that too. But I do have some stuff that's cool. I just need to find maybe some other things to open. Maybe I'll do the Final Fantasy Magic the Gatherings. I still have some... like... blind boxes. Unopened retro Pokemon card packs. I did that. Actually, a chat member sent me some really early Pokemon card packs, and I opened them live. Did you get a first edition Charizard worth 800k? Absolutely not. That's really cool. There are definitely more unopened Charizards out there, like first edition. Because those packs are probably, I think, if I'm not mistaken, from my Pokemon card collecting days, those packs were worth more unopened because of the speculative value. So there's probably a ton of packs that actually do have Charizards in them. And maybe just in someone's basement, too. Like, someone just never opened a pack of cards, and they have, like, a Charizard sitting in a basement. How did a child set all this up? Is he a savant or something? Absolutely he is. I mean, he's going to be a famous genius author, so yeah. Also, perhaps wealth, you know, to buy all this stuff. I mean, and the room is fucking massive, too. Card packs from 3 decades ago sealed away in someone's ancient tomb all the way during Generation 1 with a hollow foil piece of cardboard with an image of Ash Ketchum on life support from an unreleased anime episode just waiting to be unleashed. Wow. I think Saddam had a lot of Pokemon cards. Just a variety of enemy ideas. That was Bin Laden? Oh, okay, yeah, he had a lot of Pokemon cards too. That's cool. Had Final Fantasy VII ROM hacks. I know, I'm aware of that. My god. What is this world? It's a, you know what? It's a link between worlds is what this is. This very easily could have been a very minimal gimmick of just like, you know, going into the real world for a couple seconds just to make for a good trailer. But instead, this is really, really cool. And it's fleshed out nicely. And the areas are lovingly designed. Speaking of Magic the Gathering, that is hilarious. What's this? Another intruder. I can see a thieving gleam in your eye. Vinny, you blinded it earlier. Did you not see it earlier? I do end up looking over at chat a lot, and I miss things. Is that why someone was asking about the Final Fantasy VII Magic the Gathering? Or Final Fantasy? By the way, when does that come out? Next year? Okay, so... Never mind, I might do card sauce before then, we'll see. Show me what you've got, rascal. Jot tried talking to Alowania. Now's not the time for words, but for battle. I don't think I'm winning. You shall not have this bow, but you shall have its fury. I do not converse with scoundrels. You will not soon forget the song of my arrows. The feather in your cap quivers with fear, scoundrel. How do you like the points of these arrows? I will not... Okay. I will not talk with you, but my arrows will sing. How do you like the points of these arrows? Am I just gonna, like, die? Jot, it is I, Paige the Bookworm. You seem to be in a desperate predicament. Let me revivify you. Thank you, Worm. Your vitality is restored. I may have also spruced up your offensive capabilities. Alas, Jot, that was a one-time spell. I can revitalize you no more. The outcome of this skirmish is now entirely up to you. Sorcery matters not. I shall dispatch you once and for all. Okay, now I'm dealing big damage. Or none. Still you persist, intruder! I will destroy this elven bow before I give it to you. The elves will Oh God. The elves will never let their weapons be used for evil purposes. But you can tell that to your boss. What was his name? Yes, Humpgrump. Jot, did you hear that? It seems that she has erroneously identified you as an agent of Humgrump's. You must talk to her, Jot. Inform her of the truth. I think I can reproduce the spell that she cast to buy us some time. And now let us finish. Humpgrump isn't my boss. You expect me to believe that? I don't have a boss. How lucky for you. Really, Humpgrump is not my boss. Is my enemy. Your enemy, but... What do you mean? I'm trying to stop his nefarious plans. What do you mean? You mean you are not his underling? Most assuredly not. Jot is a champion of his land, striving to defeat the dastardly Humpgrump and put a stop to his mischief. Is that so? Well, now that I take a closer look at him, he does seem to have a somewhat heroic countenance. Hellowania, we wholeheartedly apologize for for the disturbance we have precipitated. I'm so sorry, my brain is just, like, dead. We are searching for a weapon to help clean up Humpgrump's chaos. Your elven bow seemed like it could be advantageous in that regard, but we did not mean to cause any turmoil in your forests. I've decided I shall lend the elven bow to you. Any enemy of Humgrump is a friend of mine. I can see the aura of good about you now, Jot. That's great. I wonder if you can actually just kill. When the bow is finished assisting you, it will return itself to these forests. Good luck on your quest, young Jot. Our battle was most bracing. Yeah, how does she know about Humpgrump? We made a good tag team, don't you think, Jot? It seems that Humgrump's forces have made their way outside of your book. This does not bode well. Here, jump into this sticky note. You'll be able to get down to the desk and back to your book. I cannot see his... Someone said, I can't not see his name as Jort. Jort, welcome back. Did you get what you were looking for? There we go, lad. Go wallop him.
Bugs.
Bugs!
Jot readied the elven bird.
I think he looks like Giga
It
Chad.
was time to put its powers to the test.
That's so silly. This is so silly. I mean, the variety is only helping the game for me.
Jot drew his bow back as far as he could. And shot that creature right in the eye.
I will save this after this. But I'm enjoying the game, chat, as you can tell. I haven't stopped playing it yet. Use the mouse? Oh yeah, the mouse is maybe a little bit better. It's quite a bit better.
The Plucky Squire had squashed the bugs.
Thank you from the bottom of our mollusk hearts. That's not the last of those bugs, though. We've had word that there are more ahead. They say their leader is a big, horrible bug with flashing eyes. Have your wits about you, adventurers, and good luck.
Does the game just save? Why does this kid's room have no roof? Don't ask that question either. I guess the game autosaves. Shockingly good Flanders. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is really good so far, chat. I'm enjoying it. I actually like playing it as well as looking at it. Like, it is definitely rewarding my time with it. So, it's not just like a gimmicky trailer with, like, you know, interesting stuff that happens a couple times and that's it. It's pretty inventive so far. The 2 hours I played it today, it's been consistently good and funny and entertaining. So I liked it. We'll see if it continues. And if the game is short, I'm fine with that. But right now, I look forward to my next time playing it. Why don't we take a break? I'll be back with Silent Hill 4, and we can suffer through the escort mission that is the second half of that game.